Hey everyone, what's going on? My name is Terry with the Streamer Source. Welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. So look, let's say you've been on Mixer for a while now and you're part of their open monetization and you're starting to get donations, you're starting to get embers, or maybe you're a Twitch affiliate, which by the way folks, congratulations on both of those. And let's say that you're starting to get some monthly subs, some bits, some donos there as well. And you're thinking, you know what? I really want to upgrade my microphone because I'm still using my built-in headset mic and it's got me this far, but I want a little bit more oomph in what I have to say. What kind of setup should I look at? Well folks, I'm telling you right now, the Blue Yeti is a wonderful mic. It is what I got my start on as well, along with the Blue Snowball Ice. But if I would have known, I could have got an XLR setup for around the same price, maybe $10 or $15 more. I would have went with that in a heartbeat over any sort of USB condenser microphone. So what would I recommend? Well, stay tuned to find out. Oh man, guys, look, don't you love it whenever you go to do something like make a video here on YouTube for you all, and the products that you're wanting to recommend, they're unable to be found anywhere online. The product I was going to recommend that you check out for a beginner interface is one that I bought about a year or so ago. It's called the Behringer UMC22 USB audio interface, and folks, it looks just like this here. This thing was like 60 bucks brand new on Amazon, and I cannot find this thing anywhere online now. I don't know if it's because of just what's going on in the world or if they've been discontinued, but I can't find this guy at all anywhere. But if you can happen to find one used, I highly recommend it. I'm going to go over why I think that this is such a great beginner interface. Okay, now it's very, very bare bones. It's nothing special, but it will get the job done just fine. Okay, it's not going to have its own sort of equalizer on here, or it's called a British EQ, where you have an actual dial for highs, mids, and lows. It's not going to have any of that. But what it does have, though, folks, is that it's got a spot for one XLR mic, an instrument port right here, the gain knob for said mic, the gain knob for said instrument jack right here. It has a direct monitor toggle right here, so you can actually listen to yourself in real time via the headphones, and then this gain knob right here is for the headphones. But there's one really cool thing about this interface for the money that I think is just phenomenal, and that is this little switch right here on the back. And what is this? Well, this here is your phantom power switch to give this thing a true 48 volts of phantom power to power some very high-end microphones. And why is that a big deal? Well, here's the thing, okay folks, whenever it comes to the whole stream scene, there are two types of microphones that people like to use: a dynamic microphone, which does not require any sort of phantom power, or a condenser microphone, which is what I'm using right here, that in fact does require some auxiliary power to give the mic a signal to actually be used to pick up sounds. Okay, and that's normally 48 volts, okay? Like, you know, plus or minus a few volts, but normally 48 volts, okay? And the cool thing with this here is that it gives you that. And why is that so cool for this price? Well, a lot of these cheaper interfaces out there, they say they have phantom power, but in all reality, it's like 10 or 15 volts, and that's it. Now, will the microphone work? It might, but you might have to crank the gain up so high to be usable that it introduces a lot of humming background noise, and it just won't make it sound like it should. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many times where I go to a friend's house and they tell me, yeah, my microphone doesn't sound good, and turns out the mixer they bought, it's a very cheap one with very, very low-end features, like it was like 30-40 bucks, and oh yeah, well it has phantom power, and I look at the specifications, I'm like, yeah, it offers 10 volts. Wait, what? All it's got is 10 volts? Yeah, it only offers 10 volts of phantom power. So that's the reason why your microphone sounds like crap. So folks, whether it's this interface here, if you can find them used online, any interface you might buy, please make sure it has at least 48 volts of phantom power offered, so you can essentially use any kind of microphone you want. Now, like I said, this was supposed to be a video about how you can get the same type of sound quality as you would get from a USB mic like the Holy Grail Blue Yeti. for around the same price, but with a full XLR setup. And with this here, you could have, this here was $65 brand new again, okay, 65 bucks brand new. And I would recommend a microphone like this here. This is the MXL 770, and right now on Amazon, folks, they are going for $72.58. So that would have been right around that $120, $130 price point that the Blue Yeti is in right now. But again, unfortunately, I can't find these things anywhere at all. So with that being said, we're going to step up on the interface a little bit, and it's going to be around 120 bucks for it, but trust me, it's going to be well worth it, okay? And what am I talking about? Well, folks, it's the one I'm using right now, actually. It is the Behringer Q802 USB interface. Now this interface comes in at about 120 bucks. So yeah, it's a little bit more than double of what the UMC 22 will go for. But the cool thing about this interface here though, folks, is that not only does it offer full 48 volts of phantom power, but it also has a spot for not just one input, but two inputs, okay? Only bad thing though is that you can't just have the phantom power on one or the other. Whenever you have phantom power turned on, it's automatically on both mic inputs, okay? So just keep that there in mind, okay? But the cool thing about this is that unlike the cheaper UMC 22 here, is that this bigger interface actually, and you might be able to see him here on camera too, folks. Matter of fact, I'll do some B-roll here for you guys and gals, is that it actually has what's called in the industry a British EQ. In other words, folks, it has physical dials for highs, mids, and lows to really tweak your microphone to how you want it to sound. So for example here, folks, right here I have the bass on this thing set to about 70%. So at like, let's just say 3 o'clock-ish, I can take this bass all the way down like this here if I want to, or if I wanted to sound really big and mean, I could take it all the way up here to 100%. But I'm gonna go and take this back down to about 3 o'clock to where I had it before. There we go. So yeah, folks, again, this is gonna bring you to around the $180 price point-ish, maybe 190, so closer to 200. But again, if you have about $200 to spend on a setup like this here, this is something that I would recommend in a heartbeat. And a matter of fact, I already have. And people love this setup so much. I love the way it sounds on my stream. So they go out and pick up their own, and they said it was a lot easier to set up than what we once thought. And it sounds amazing. And folks, I've been using this microphone now for a while, and I get nothing but compliments on this thing. I really do. You know, like, I wouldn't recommend this if I wouldn't use it myself. And sure enough, folks, I do use it myself. You know what I mean? So again, I'm so sorry that this video wasn't what I planned on making. Again, I planned on showing you guys prices for this thing here, but unless you can find it used, you might have to step up to something a little bit different. There's a lot of people out there using Focusrite interfaces as well, and it's hard for me to really recommend those. One, because I don't have experience with them. I've never owned one or used one. But I've seen a lot of people online complain about how they always seem to have driver problems within Windows. So again, I can't say that from personal experience, but I can just relay the information to you all out there to make your own sort of informed decision on what to buy, okay? But folks, please, if you have any questions, as per usual, leave them down in the comments below. I will get to them as soon as I see them. And if not, you can catch me live over at twitch.tv/HeyIt'sTerry, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at about 8:30 Central Time, USA, as per usual, okay? So folks, happy streaming, catch you in the next one, and please, wash your hands.